Are you weak and pathetic? Does everybody beat you at arm wrestling? Well, do I have a solution for you. With a fair strap, you go through the middle at the end and then put it into the buckle. But with the hustle strap, you skip that pesky fair part and go underneath everything and then right into the buckle to give you that unfair advantage you've been looking for. Way to go, champ. Hustle strap doesn't guarantee any results. If you suck at arm wrestling, you probably would have lost anyways, but if we told you that slowly, you wouldn't buy our products. Alright, enough of the bit. Although I did record that last part in real time, I don't know how you get a job as one of those fast-talking people at the end of the commercials, but let me know if someone out there has an opportunity. This on the screen before you is a brand new study covering whether or not having the buckle on the back of your hand in a hustle strap matters, and it has everything: an intro, hypotheses, methods. You know we're making it as a sport when stuff like this starts coming out. The study was created by Eric Hockwald, and he shared it with me with the intention of making a video, so thank you, Eric. He's also a super talented musician. You can check him out on Instagram, moon_machine_music. You might remember this match years ago where the hustle strap was used, and I think it perfectly exemplifies the problem. Whoever had the buckle on their hand each time lost the round. And while it was still a good match and there are things we can take away from it, it did raise a lot of questions about what would have happened if the fairer strap was used. Just like I demonstrated in the intro, the ref goes underneath everything at the end, not through the middle of the strap. The fairer version of wrapping the strap has become standard in most promotions. However, I still see the hustle strap being used from time to time, so I think the more data that comes out, like what we're going to see in this study, the better. It's multiple pages long, so I won't go through the whole thing word for word in this video, but I will kind of give a TLDR version of it. In the hypotheses, Eric writes, Devon Larratt believes the hustle strap gives an advantage to the puller without the buckle on their hand, no matter the pulling style. His main observation is that the hustle strap is an asymmetrical wrap. When tension is applied to the strap from both pullers, he describes a leverage advantage that is gained by the puller without the buckle on their hand. Important to note, there isn't total consensus on this. Todd Hutchings, for example, quote, doesn't believe that buckle makes a difference to the outcome of the match in the hustle strap or the new quote-unquote fair strap system. Todd analyzed some old tournament data where the hustle strap was used and didn't find a statistically significant difference between buckle side or non-buckle side winning more matches beyond a 50-50 coin flip. Todd also brings up an interesting point here.
But nobody ever talks about if there's a lucky side to the table. Because even if you're not in the straps, a certain side of the table may or may not win more than the other, depending on whether you face the ref or not.
When the buckle is on your hand, that also means the head ref is right next to you, staring at the back of your wrist, making sure there is no flexion there, whereas your opponent might be able to get away with a little bit more. To be clear, I'm not saying Marcio is guilty of anything. In fact, his wrist looks pretty good to me. I just wanted to give a visual example of what I mean when I say the ref will be staring at the back of your hand when you have the buckle. Todd also notes that when you're not on the buckle side, you get to see the ref better and therefore time the start better. Eric writes, after some discussion in the aforementioned video, Devon Larratt conceded that the buckle in the hustle strap system only mattered to the outcome of the match in close matches. So sorry to our friend in the beginning.
I mean, if you spend any amount of time in the strap, pulling with a guy who's close to you that you can like beat him half the time maybe, you will very quickly figure out that the buckle matters a ton in a hustle strap, a ton. Like, you will win every time if it's close between two people. I'm telling you, to me, it's so obvious. Like, I can't believe we have the discussion.
Into the methods section, Eric continues, I wanted to investigate Devon's hypothesis. The problem with Todd Hutchings' data, in my opinion, is that it didn't account for the strength difference in the pullers. To get around this problem, Eric only looked at data from matches that were not blowouts, that didn't end 6-0, and instead went back and forth. His source material was the old Arm Wars matches on the Arm Wars Archive YouTube channel, which has a ton of bangers. Alright, let's get into the juicy stuff, the results section. Quote, these are the strap match results from Arm Wars Archive matches that ended with a 5-1, 4-2, or 3-3 result. The non-buckle side won the round 74 times, the buckle side won the round only 27 times. That is about a 2.75 to 1 ratio with a sample size of 101 rounds. Eric also recorded how often the hand was taken in those rounds, and with the non-buckle side it was 42 times, and with the buckle side it was 21 times, so a 2 to 1 ratio in favor of not having the buckle. Eric writes, if we were expecting a 50-50 coin flip between buckle and non-buckle side for close matches, this would result in a chi-square value of 21.87. In observations, he writes, in my opinion, the results indicate that Devon Larratt was correct. In close matches, the buckle side of the hustle strap makes a difference to the outcome of a given round, regardless of the style. He continues, if the non-buckle puller is pulling into their bottom strap to generate power, and that strap is directly attached to the back of his opponent's hand, it is going to give the non-buckle puller a leverage advantage despite the style being used. Eric also warns of a sort of placebo effect where if the pullers believe that the buckle side matters, that may adjust how they pull in order to either get into the strap or avoid it altogether, and that can kind of confound the data. Eric notes, however, that he doesn't think that completely explains the significant difference we saw in the results. In conclusion, Eric writes, I believe this data shows that the buckle side makes a difference in close matches under the old hustle strap system, regardless of the style. Although this is interesting data, we cannot conclude from this data alone that the fair strap is a massive improvement to the hustle strap. The next steps would be to do this same study of quote close end quote matches that use the quote fair end quote strap to see if the newer way of wrapping the strap is more fair. Perhaps the new Arm Wars matches could be used in order to keep the super match format consistent between the two sets of data. I think he's correct in saying that we need more analysis before we draw any concrete conclusions. It's almost impossible really in any study to control for every single variable and therefore make absolute conclusions. There are just so many confounding factors up to and including biases of the conductors themselves. But for Eric's part, I thought this was really cool of him to do, and I'm super appreciative that he wanted me to make a video on it. Stuff like this just makes our sport more interesting and robust. You can find a link to the study down below and let me know what you guys think. Did you enjoy the video? I find this kind of stuff interesting and important because, I mean, we did switch, most leagues at least, from the quote-unquote hustle strap to the quote-unquote fairer strap, and who knows? Maybe we need to go back. Not according to this study, at least. If you enjoyed this video, hustle strap that like button and subscribe to catch all my future content. I put out multiple new videos every week, and I will see you in the next one.